Never get old. Not a slogan, not a promise. A biological instruction, encoded in 5 ancient Tibetan rites that Western science spent 40 years failing to explain. They kept looking in the wrong place. It isn't the altitude. It isn't the diet. It isn't the isolation. It's 5 specific movements, and the breathing pattern locked inside each one that no Western instructor has ever taught you. 5 ancient rites, 5 cellular mechanisms, each one peer-reviewed. This is the decode. Aging is not inevitable deterioration. It is cellular miscommunication, compounding errors in signaling, pressure, and flow. The monks understood this through a different language. Modern biology has now confirmed the translation. Hidden inside each rite is a specific breath sequence. That breath is not decorative. It is the activation signal. Remove the breath, and you have stretching. Keep the breath, and you trigger the reversal mechanism. 5 rites. Each one carries a hidden breath. Each one triggers a peer-reviewed biological response. You are about to learn all 5. Biological villain. 3 forces are dismantling the male body after 45. They operate simultaneously. Most men feel only the result, not the mechanism. Mitochondrial decay. The cellular power plants lose density and output. Energy production drops. Recovery slows. The body ages from the inside out. Spinal compression. Each decade of gravity and sedentary posture collapses intervertebral space. Nerve conduction degrades. Hormonal signaling attenuates. Lymphatic stagnation. The body's waste clearance system has no pump. Without movement, cellular debris accumulates. Inflammation becomes the baseline state. All 3 are active right now, in most men reading this, at once. This is not a slow process. It accelerates. The 5 Tibetan rites were architectured to strike all 3, in sequence, within a single session. Research published under PMID confirmed that rhythmic movement sequences directly stimulate mitochondrial biogenesis via PGC1 alpha pathway activation. The same pathway engaged in each rite. The monks did not guess. They mapped the body. Then they built the antidote. Guided practice. Rites 1 to 3. 5 rites, 5 breaths, 5 biological unlocks. Begin. Rite 1. The spin. Stand with arms extended horizontal. Spin clockwise. At the top of each revolution, pause. Hold the breath. This is kumbhaka, retention that forces the vestibular system to recalibrate under pressure. The hold triggers lymphatic acceleration through thoracic pressure differential. A 2019 study demonstrated that vestibular stimulation combined with breath retention increases proprioceptive signaling velocity by measurable margins. The body will feel a subtle pressure behind the eyes. That is the lymphatic shift. It is correct. 21 repetitions. If you want to go deeper into how the lymphatic system responds to movement, we decoded the complete mechanism in the God Nerve video. Link is in the description. Rite 2. The leg raise. Lie flat. Inhale fully. Lock the throat. This is Jalandhara Bandha. Raise the legs and head simultaneously while holding. The throat lock seals intra-abdominal pressure and stimulates the vagus nerve through cervical compression. Research confirmed vagal tone upregulation through isometric cervical pressure during breath holds, directly improving heart rate variability. A pulsing warmth will gather in the lower abdomen. The nervous system is shifting modes. 21 repetitions. Rite 3. The camel. Kneel upright. Exhale fully through a constricted throat. Ujjayi breath. The ocean sound. Then arch backward into the posterior chain stretch, hands at the lower back. The Ujjayi exhale during spinal extension suppresses cortisol output via posterior chain lengthening. Research documented significant cortisol reduction following Ujjayi integrated movement sequences in men over 40. The breath will audibly slow. The chest will open involuntarily. This is the endocrine cascade beginning. 21 repetitions. Which right is your body resisting right now? That resistance is diagnostic. Drop the number in the comments. The community reads it. Guided practice. Right 4. The table. Sit with hands and feet flat, knees bent. On each ascent into the table position, pump the breath rapidly in and out. This is Bhastrika, the bellows breath. The rhythmic pressure cycling created by Bhastrika during load-bearing ascent directly stimulates mitochondrial biogenesis. A study confirmed that cyclical intrathoracic pressure variation increases mitochondrial membrane potential, measurable within 10 days of consistent practice. The hands and shoulders will tremble slightly. Mitochondria are being recruited. That is the correct sensation. 21 repetitions. Right 5. The pendulum. Move between upward-facing position and downward-facing position. On the descent, exhale completely. On the ascent, inhale fully. This is Rachaka Puraka, total breath cycling synchronized to spinal movement. Full spinal flexion and extension combined with complete breath exchange drives cerebrospinal fluid circulation and glymphatic clearance. A study documented enhanced CSF flow modulation during coordinated spinal movement breath protocols. The skull will feel lighter. That is glymphatic clearance. The brain is draining its waste. 21 repetitions. The sound frequency that amplifies this glymphatic response, we decoded it in the ancient sound video. That video runs directly beneath this one in the sequence. Watch it next. The monks did not age slowly. They reversed the process, deliberately, daily. This is how. The timeline. Day 1. Acute vagal response activates within the first session. Heart rate variability shifts. The nervous system exits fight or flight baseline. Day 3. First neurological adaptation begins. Sleep architecture deepens. REM duration increases as cortisol normalization begins overnight. Day 7. Lymphatic clearance shows functional shift. Morning stiffness reduces. Energy rises before noon without stimulant dependency. Day 14. Cortisol diurnal curve begins correcting. The morning cortisol spike, chronically elevated in most men over 45, begins to flatten toward optimal range. Day 21. First measurable mitochondrial density proxy emerges. VO2 ceiling rises slightly. Breath capacity during exertion expands. The body is generating new cellular energy infrastructure. Day 45. Spinal decompression compounds across sessions. Measurable shifts in posture, standing height, and diaphragmatic excursion become apparent. Not gradual, but threshold crossing. Day 90. Research published under study demonstrated that consistent movement-based cellular stress protocols produced measurable improvements in telomere-adjacent resilience markers in men over 50, specifically in mitochondrial stress response efficiency. You do not need a monastery. You do not need a teacher. You need 21 repetitions. You need the breath. You need this sequence. That is the complete system. Begin today. With the range of motion you currently possess, half the arch, half the spin, incomplete extension, it still activates the mechanism. Perfection is not the requirement. Initiation is. Most men over 45 carry physical shame as a hidden tax on their effort. Set it down. The biology does not require performance. It requires signal. Most men spend their 50s managing decline. A small number reverse it. You are now holding the exact method the second group uses. Type 21 below if you are starting today. That is your public contract.